reached your destination, Packwood Lane.
You see all our cars parked down there.
The house was built between 1575 and 1590 for the Featherstone family, and they were just farmers basically. And this piece was put on about 1660, around about the time of the restoration. And this was a built service wing to the house, so it would have had gardeners and things like that living in there, cooks, possibly cleaners, things like that. Morning. Morning. This faces east, this way, so we get quite a lot of sun, which is the east court. High trees, and you and getting to the top up there as well. We've got snowdrops out underneath the wisterias, so it's a good warm sunny spot here.
Oh, we get them at Kenilworth,
aren't they?
Yeah, got them all to protect. That's right.
We've got them at Kenilworth, haven't we?
Yeah. There's a wisteria on
Not
here.
a lot, but we've got some there.
So obviously we'll be flowering later. All of this, as I said, that was the original house. This is 1660, that piece. Yeah. The only piece that isn't is the piece in the corner. Now you can tell that by the bricks. The bricks on these are hand-made
Very
bricks.
small bricks.
And these are machine-made Victorian bricks.
They're bigger,
So they're bigger bricks. Now that was where the Victorian kitchen was. The original house, before that time, the kitchen we think was probably over in that corner of the courtyard over there, because you would have had it away from the house because of the fear of fire. So, but by the time of the Victorians, they'd sorted that. So it was in there. Now, it sounds like an odd story, but when the house came to the National Trust, the National Trust was run by very upper middle class people. And they didn't foresee that people in this day and age would be interested in kitchens because it was domestic, and they didn't do domestic. They didn't know what domestic was. The food arrived on the table and they didn't really know how it got there. And so when this came to the National Trust in 1941, and so they didn't foresee they'd need a kitchen. So the kitchen was taken out at that time, so we now don't have kitchens. Now the house was originally timbered.
That's the front door, is it? The old front door?
No, that was a garden door. But the house was originally timbered, but it was rendered about 200 years ago. Now it looks move up a bit. Actually, sorry. That's the way. It was rendered about 200 years ago because the timbering wasn't fashionable at the time. A lot of houses had these sort of stone Georgian fronts on them and things like that. So, but the people here didn't have that sort of money, so they just rented theirs to get rid of the money. Which is a bit of a shame. This area was originally used for Shakespearean plays, so in the 1920s, the action would take place across here. The audience would sit on the grass. The same thing about going down here. I'll hold the gate, and this is not very obvious way of going down otherwise, but I'll hold the gate so if anybody wants to come into it. Mind when you get to the stop because of the bottom because of the hoops.
This reminds me, what's the place? The village in Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
They've got 99 yew trees in.
Yeah, yew garden.
No, this place is a village in Gloucestershire.
Okay.
In the graveyard, they've got 99 yew trees.
Got a pub on the with badgers down there.
Oh, okay. Baju sana.
Very cleverly laid out, isn't it?
Right, now this feature we know has been here since 1723. It was possibly here quite a while before that, but the oldest map in the house shows us that it was a feature in 1723. So it was built so that the landowner, Mr. Featherstone, could climb to the highest point of his land to view his property. So in 1723 or before that, he probably would have been looking at about 1,000 acres.
He's relocated. Because upstairs is closed, we've been doing these just as a little bit extra. The Ash family didn't use the attic space, but Mrs. Ash didn't like it up here, so they didn't use it. This, as you go through this door, there is a very loose floorboard. It usually clangs when you stand on it, so just be aware of that. Mind your head, because the doors are a bit low up here. That's the one there. That's all right.
Oh yeah.
You
went there?
No. It's pretty old up here. I mean, they haven't done anything to it. When the Artons lived here in the mid-18 to late 1800s, they had 11 children, and they had 7 boys, and they slept up here. Now, obviously, we have a hole here in the floor, so we'd be careful coming in here. Of the formal gardens from upstairs here. You can see them better actually from the next room. This map here shows you where Baron Ash went on his world tour, because after he finished his private school education, his dad said to him, do you want to go to university or on a world tour? He picked the world tour, and this shows you the map of where he went, starting by going over into Canada and then back to this side to Japan and through the continent, finishing off in Switzerland. He finished off in Switzerland. His sister was at finishing school at that time, so he had a few days with his sister in Switzerland and then returned home.
How long did it take you?
I think it was about 8 months in total. And of course, planning that trip would have been a lot harder than it is today, because you wouldn't have the internet and things like that. So, but I think it was about 8. This is a curious little room. At one time, people seemed to think it was a hidden chapel, but this house didn't sit on. It sat on the fence basically. It didn't represent one side or the other. Bantster Clinton had the priest holes. Yeah. That is definitely a Catholic house. This house isn't. They supported both sides.
Best way, didn't you?
I was going to say, they kept the heads that way. So this, we believe, is a staircase. This is the view of the long gallery and the Great Hall, which Baron Ash added. The barn that the Great Hall was developed from has been there since about the 1400s. But Baron Ash converted it into the Great Hall that you see today in 1925, and he used to walk through the garden to the house. So the long gallery was added in 1932. Everything is true to the period, but this doesn't belong to this house. They had to buy their own coal, so you wouldn't want to put an awful lot. And the reason the floor is like it is, apparently according to this structural engineer, is there wasn't a big fireplace there or anything like that. Those are the bits of timbers they've got, so that's what. So this is going back to the bones of the house basically. This is original to the house. Again, as I say, that window, we don't know why that's there. The windows in the roof, Baron Ash put in because he closed one of the gallery landings off. It made the landing very dark, so he put the leading light in the floor there, and those, just to create more light downstairs. In here, these are original timbers, but you can see where Baron Ash has altered the pitch of the roof, because these ones these ones are the originals, and then you've got what he put in a little bit above them. So that's Baron Ash's work there, and this is original here. You've got the original wattle and daub plasterwork over there, and behind the little hole in the wall there. That's it. And then you've got the small bricks over there that the house was built in. Bricks, the small bricks was apparently a sign of wealth. The smaller the brick, the more money you've got. But they started to tax people on bricks, so that's when they started to use bigger bricks. But those again are original to the house. We've got 2 inspection holes here as well for the roof. I've never been up there, but one of our volunteers did bravely go up there. The only problem was, he was a lovely chap. He doesn't work here any longer. He was a big guy. I mean, tall and big, and he tried to go through those inspection panels. Had a little bit of a problem because he got sick there in the 1930s. So this is Baron Ash's work. It's quite a nice, easy staircase to climb as well. That's 1930s.
Down here.
Thank you. I don't believe you've been round the house.
No, I think nobody has as yet. No.
So I'll leave you free to wander now.
Thank you.
This one called the Great Hall, is it? No, this is the long gallery. The long gallery, I we saw that from the top. Yeah, the Great Hall's down the bottom. It's a long gallery. It is. The Great Hall was an old barn. It was even older than the house. Which he converted into a hall. Was he the artist as well? No, this is Graham Ash. And then for a long while, to get from the house to the Great Hall, you walk through the gardens. And then in the 30s, he built this to join the two together.
So you have to get wet and cold.
That's right.
Amazing. A lot of tapestries, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of tapestries. They would have been, when they first put up, they're probably all rich in colour, but they're all faded, haven't they? Yeah. Oh, look at these Chinese dogs. We used to have some of those. Are they electric panels?
Yes.
Do they get a more light?
Yeah. Well, they're battery operated actually, in as much as they're not really chemical.
Size of this window. Size of this window. Wow.
Yeah.
Stained glass.
Massive, isn't it?
So you take your own coat of arms and merge it with
The one that we bought.
the other half. The part being black indicates that that person died. So these tended to be put outside the property so that they knew there'd been a death and whether it was the husband or the wife.
Oh.
And then they would go to church. One above the fireplace,
Yeah.
that's a single coat of arms,
Yeah.
and that's all black, because that's Baron Ash's coat of arms, and he never married, so when he died, it was all black.
And that would be placed outside the house.
Generally, yes.
To
yes.
show the people.
But then it would go to church.
Yeah. Oh, that's been taken from the church before.
Yes.
Was way rather where the lake is, but it stopped being used after about the end of the 19th century because the wall was starting to collapse.
Yeah.
So they swapped everything around to come into that.
So they all come in that way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
See that study area.
The study area, yeah.
This is the inner hall, but it used to call was the entrance hall, and this, I think before 1658, this was one big room, but then they put this partition in, gave them another room, the drawing room.
Yeah, and it's just a study, you said?
Yeah, normally we'd have flowers on, but it's the wrong
Yeah,
time of year for
yeah,
flowers.
well, yeah, isn't it?
So, and the carpet's been away from being cleaned as well.
Oh yeah, and then this room was
This is the drawing room.
drawing room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It looks a bit odd like that. There's two reasons that fireplace is there. One's because that partition.
Yeah, because the wall wasn't there.
But the other thing is a great big chimney stack straight above it. It takes all the flues from,
Yeah.
from about eight fireplaces, 4 down here and 4 upstairs, and even one in the attic. So it saved them what was called a stack tax.
Yeah, wow. Stack tax, yeah. Huh.
Right?
Thank you for that. Very interested.
There we go.
I would hope they have the fire lit and the heating on there.
Yeah.
These heaters are on.
No,
They keep the place low level temperature, isn't it?
It's to do with the moisture in the air, because it's to protect the fabric of the property, not the people. So it's about that, and so it's on a humidistat, so the heating comes on if it's very damp. So you get a cold January day, no heating, you get a moist
I
August
went
day.
to one place, it was 33 degrees, which is hot, not bad, but it was
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
90% humidity, just,
Oh, yeah.
and then I was in the desert, it was 46 degrees. But it was,
Tapestry. Henry VIII. Thank you. Yeah.
okay.
So you have to go to reception.
Hello,
Yeah.